Meghan Markle had concerns about speaking out on the tragic death of George Floyd and knew her message had to be communicated appropriately, according to a royal source. Meghan Markle shared her absolute devastation at racial divisions and the death of George Floyd in the U.S., during a video message to graduates at her former all-girls school in Los Angeles. In a heartfelt tribute, the Duchess of Sussex also recalled her own personal experiences as a teenager living in California during the 1992 race riots. A royal source told Vanity Fair, "Like many people, Meghan has felt very raw about what has happened. This is a key issue for her. She knew whatever she said had to be communicated appropriately. There have been a lot of discussion. It wasn't easy, but she was determined to say something." These are her words, her sentiments. It's 100% her. Meghan, 38, spoke out at the death of George Floyd, at a virtual ceremony for graduates Immaculate Heart High School, where she attended between the ages of 11 to 18. George Floyd died after a police officer held him down by pressing a knee into his neck in Minneapolis on May 25. Meghan said, "What is happening in our country and in our state and in our hometown of LA has been absolutely devastating. I wasn't sure what I could say to you. I wanted to say the right thing and I was really nervous that I wouldn't or it would get picked apart, and I realized the only wrong thing to say is to say nothing, because George Floyd's life mattered and Breonna Taylor's life mattered and Philando Castillo's life mattered and Tamir Rice's life mattered, and so did so many other people whose names we know and whose names we do not know." In the video, first reported by the African-American female U.S. magazine Essence, Meghan also shared her first-hand experience of race riots in the Californian city in 1992 after police officers were filmed violently beating Rodney King. She said, "I remember the curfew and I remember rushing back home, and on that drive home, seeing ash fall from the sky, and smelling the smoke and seeing the smoke billow out of buildings. I remember seeing men in the back of a van just holding guns and rifles. I remember pulling up to the house and seeing the tree, that had always been there, completely charred. And those memories don't go away. I can't imagine that at 17 or 18, that you would have to have a different version of that same type of experience." Meghan also offered the students some advice she was given by a former teacher that has hit home this past week. The Duchess said, "I remember my teacher at the time, one of my teachers, Ms. Palia, said to me as I was leaving for a day of volunteering, always remember to put others' needs above your own fears. And that has stuck with me throughout my entire life, and I have thought about it more in the last week than ever before." Meghan Markle is currently living in LA with Prince Harry and their baby Archie, 1, after quitting as senior members of the royal family in March. According to a friend of the Duchess, the exit from the royal family has given Meghan a new lease of life. They said, "Listening to her was like hearing the old Meghan. She sounds less restrained and more herself and much more how I remembered her from when we first met, way back before she was a member of the royal family."